Before we jump right in, we wanted to give you an example of what this work looked like in action. Sometimes it's easier to see what other people have done so you can get some inspiration, and we can showcase to you kind of what comes from our process. So I had been talking to a teacher, actually an instructional coach in a district in Iowa, and she needed to work with all the teachers in her district to help them to switch over to remote learning. So this was during spring of the pandemic. So she was saying, I'm overwhelmed. Teachers have very different needs. You have all these different grade levels, these subject areas. I'm happy to showcase a lot of the tech that we can use, and there's a lot of great ideas out there. But, teachers really need to be able to personalize this to fit the needs of, their classes, the subjects they teach, the students that they have, etc. I'm not really sure what to do. So we were sitting there brainstorming some solutions, and we were discussing, and it was thrown out there, why don't you just showcase, some of the best strategies you have, and then give teachers the ability to kind of just personalize and take what they want and personalize it so it can fit to the needs of their classroom. And she said, that's great. And then she actually took the educator canvas and gave it to all of the teachers she was working with so that they could personalize what they had learned from her, and incorporate technology in a way that worked best for their students and for themselves. So the challenge question she gave, so she used this with her teachers in a bit different of a way. So she just gave her teachers the problem. How can we create a quality, first-class online learning experience for our students and our families? From there, she did a showcase of all these different apps and these different tools that were at these teachers' disposal, and then the teachers took it and ran with it, and we were delighted with what we saw. So here are just a handful of the canvases. I know you can't read those, they're small, but the teachers were really able to come up with different things. So digital portfolios, how to best incorporate Schoology, and I'm actually going to use the example where they actually use Google Sites just because that's the easiest to read. And this group came up with a solution in which they would take what they had learned from her and incorporate a remote PBL unit. And so we will take you through the Canvas as well. Let me go ahead and present this so you can see it a little better. So as you work through us, I will help you to kind of clarify your problem. You already have one in mind, but if not, we'll give you the chance to kind of sift through, reflect on what's going on so you figure out what to focus on. Under the solution, Darcy will take you through and help you to brainstorm what exactly you want to work on and focus with. In the third part of the module, we'll actually help guide you through this canvas so that you can implement and really think through your idea. I do want to keep in mind there's no right way to do the canvas, and we'll emphasize that again later. This is all about you just writing down what you think you need to do so that you can get it done. So just really quick at how these teachers use the Canvas. So Project AIM, First Class Remote Learning Plan, their solution, we're going to implement strategies we learned from this class to create a remote pre-BL project so that students and families will receive a first-class online learning experience. Perfect. Some of their short-term goals, they want it to be engaging. They want to develop a plan to provide lessons through Schoology. They want to make sure their students complete the lessons. Long-term visions, they want to engage them in things that are rigorous and provide relevance. They think students will have more buy-in in this, and they also just think students will want to do more projects and packets. Touche. Inspiration, they're already looking at, what tools are available at their disposal so they don't have to reinvent the wheel. I love it. Matt Miller, Casey Bell, they have great ideas. If you've never heard of them, check them out on Twitter. A lot of great strategies and ideas for you to try. User input, they're going to make sure they get buy-ins from their students by providing choice boards and project topics. They've already found a way to do a feedback log. And what I loved about this, with them filling this out on the Google Sites, is they actually took the harder parts, or like the more in-depth parts, they created a learning log. So here, tasks, tangible things, concrete next steps and accountability, passed on to others outside the teams. They actually used this, since these were bigger chunks of their projects, they created that Google Doc and shared it to everybody who needed to do these things. They have a timeline. Wow, they even set up management logs for their students. And so from that tool, their kids were connected to it as well. They thought through the resources that they needed, things that might go wrong. They have their own strategy doc. They tapped into the partners that were at their disposal, and how they might manage relationships. And one thing we've noticed is that with any new idea or anything you're solving, just making sure everybody is on the same page, and helping manage change or stress that usually comes with doing something new. This gave them a chance to think through all the aspects of their project. So what you do look exactly like this? Probably not. And that is what's so great about going through the process, is that we will give you the chance to think through the problem you want to work on, the solution that works best for you, and then this canvas will give you the opportunity to just think through those next steps and to personalize your PD so that you can get something done and bring it back to your classroom.